The Regressed S-rank hunter decided to destroy the guild.
We're not waiting. We're going to rescue the last person before the retrieval team gets there.
Static hissed over the radio. Dojin turned without waiting for a response. Just then, Se-ah caught him by the arm.
Wait, this isn't something you can decide on your own, Dojin.
Se-ah looked in turn at the two injured survivors and the candidates.
If we go, we'll be disobeying the retrieval team's orders. Only those willing to do that should move.
The first survivor, whose leg was injured, braced himself against the wall.
You can leave me here. Please save my teammate who's still inside first.
That's not an option.
Se-ah cut him off at once.
We're going because we refuse to abandon anyone. That includes you.
The candidates supporting him tightened their grip on his arm. The two handling the equipment and the remaining candidates all stood their ground. No one volunteered to stay behind. The second survivor, whose shoulder was injured, raised his head as well.
I'm going too. I'll show you the route I saw inside.
Se-ah nodded.
Then we all go together.
The two equipment handlers sprang into action. One activated the radio recording. The other enabled the save function on the scanner's display, then handed the device to Dojin. Dojin spoke in the radio.
The mana emanating from the last candidate is still mixed into the device signal. We've also secured the entry records of the 3 people omitted from the roster. The retrieval team has not responded to our request to activate the return device, so we can evacuate the injured.
He waited a moment. No answer came.
We are now proceeding toward the central area.
All 8 of them set out at once. They placed the 2 injured survivors in the middle. The candidates covered both flanks and the rear, switching who supported the survivors every few steps. The passage widened the deeper they went. Old bloodstains mingled with traces left by passing monsters across the floor. Rapid footsteps sounded behind them. The rhythm was steady and heavy. Unlike their group, burdened by the wounded, the approaching footsteps never slowed.
It's the retrieval team.
Se-ah glanced back.
Don't stop.
Just then, a faint shout came from ahead.
Someone.
The rest was swallowed by the collapsed wall. The second survivor raised his head.
That way.
The group entered a broad intersection. A large, half-collapsed doorway stood directly ahead, with narrow passages extending to either side. Light spilled in from behind them. 4 members of the retrieval team rushed into the intersection. They wore the same guild insignia as the candidates, but that was where the resemblance ended. The protective gear covering their bodies was nearly unmarked, and the weapons in their hands looked larger and sturdier than the ones issued to the candidates. They set their heavy load down along one side of the intersection. It was a sealed container large enough to hold a person. Thick, cutting equipment emerged from a bag beside it. Se-ah's gaze swept over their gear. There was no stretcher. The other candidates noticed it too. Their expressions hardened as they looked between the 2 survivors being supported and the empty floor. The retrieval team leader stepped forward.
The retrieval team has command of the field from this point on. Hand over the injured and all records you've collected. The candidates will wait here.
Se-ah stepped forward.
Activate the return device first. Once we send the 2 injured survivors outside, you can review the records as well.
That decision belongs to the supervisor outside.
The supervisor isn't answering the radio.
That isn't for me to decide. Hand over the recording equipment first.
One of the retrieval team members approached Se-ah. His hand reached for the strap of her bag. 2 candidates stepped between them.
Don't touch her. Do you intend to disobey orders too? We won't obey an order to abandon the injured.
The retrieval team member shoved one candidate by the shoulder. But the others closed ranks behind them and held their ground. Dojin held up the active scanner.
This entire conversation is being recorded.
The team leader's eyes shifted to device.
The order to wait at our current location is on record. So is the response that dodged our request to activate the return device. If you're ordering us to abandon the last person, say it yourself over the open channel. Enough of these pointless word games. Then say you're going to rescue them.
The team leader did not answer. At that moment, a voice burst from beyond the collapsed doorway ahead.
There's someone here.
This time everyone heard it clearly.
Help me, I'm here.
The second survivor began to tremble.
That's him, it's him.
The retrieval team members turned toward the doorway as well. The voice of a living person was right in front of them. But the team leader gave a different order.
If the core destabilizes any further, the exit will close too. We open the route to the central area first.
He signaled to his subordinates.
Break through the front.
Monsters crawled out of the darkness before the collapsed doorway. 2 lunged first, and the scrape of several more sets of claws followed behind them. The retrieval team was fast. The 2 in front blocked the attacks. The moment an opening appeared, the 2 behind them severed the monsters' necks and legs. Their next strikes landed before the first monster even hit the ground. The monsters blocking the way were driven back in an instant.
Advance.
The retrieval team moved forward through the opening they had cleared. Just then, several other mana signatures surged from the passage on the right. Dojin snapped his head around.
Low on the right wall. 3 incoming.
A long foreleg burst from the darkness, aiming for the back of the candidate guarding the rear of the formation. Se-ah threw herself into its path. Her weapon met the foreleg with a deafening crash.
Move the injured first.
2 candidates pulled the survivors toward the passage ahead. The other 2 moved in beside Se-ah. 1 monster scuttled up the wall. Dojin saw the direction of the mana flowing through its body.
It's jumping left from above.
Se-ah moved to block the left side first. As the monster leaped down, 2 candidates thrust their weapons at it simultaneously. The monster twisted aside, but the distraction bought the injured survivors several more steps of distance. Ahead of them, the retrieval team continued widening the path. Not one of them looked back.
That support column.
1 candidate pointed to a leaning pillar at the entrance to the right-hand passage. Dojin also saw the force gathering around it.
Strike the base and it'll fall, but you'll have to retreat immediately.
2 of them brought their weapons down on the cracked section at the base of the pillar. The pillar tilted toward the side passage.
Back.
Se-ah and the candidates retreated at once. The pillar crashed down across the passage. The pursuing monsters were buried beneath it, and the falling rubble. The entrance was not completely sealed, but there was no gap wide enough to pass through for the moment.
Let's go.
Se-ah ran toward the injured survivors. The first survivor, whose leg was injured, pointed to the right-hand wall ahead.
There's a maintenance passage behind those rocks. It leads to a side entrance near the central area. It's shorter than the main route, and monsters have trouble getting inside.
Behind the fallen stones, they saw a passage low enough that they had to duck to enter. Inside, it was wide enough for 2 people to stand side by side. Se-ah quickly divided the group.
The 2 injured survivors will take the maintenance passage. The 4 of you, split up to support them and guard the rear. Dojin and I will take the main route so we don't lose the retrieval team. We'll regroup at the entrance to the central area.
1 candidate carried the first survivor on their back. Another followed behind, supporting the injured leg so it would not strike the wall. A 3rd candidate supported the second survivor on his uninjured side. The last guarded the rear as they entered the maintenance passage together. Dojin and Se-ah followed the main route the retrieval team had cleared. The monsters the retrieval team had cut down writhed on the floor. Dojin picked their way through by watching only the mana signatures that were still moving.
The one on the left is alive. Stay close to the wall.
They passed the fallen monster, avoiding its claws. Another scream came from ahead.
Help me.
This time it was much closer. The retrieval team cut away the last remaining chunk of the doorway. The severed stone crashed to the floor. The central area was revealed beyond it. A man-sized echo core was embedded in the middle of the vast chamber. Several large cracks ran across its black surface. A gigantic monster crawled around it on 4 long limbs. A person was trapped in one of those limbs. It was the last candidate. With his waist and 1 leg tightly bound, he clawed at the floor. Blood streamed down his face, but his eyes were open.
Over here.
He reached toward the retrieval team.
Get me out first, please.
Every time the monster moved, it dragged him a little closer to the echo core. The other candidates emerged from the low entrance in the right-hand wall at the same time. 1 carried the first survivor on their back, while the candidate behind supported his injured leg. Another helped the second survivor along. Having taken the shorter route, they had arrived almost simultaneously. The 2 survivors leaned against the wall, gasping for breath.
He's alive.
The second survivor tried to move forward. The candidate beside him caught his injured shoulder and held him back.
I'll go. Stay here.
But the retrieval team leader did not head toward the trapped man. He took the cutting equipment and aimed it at the echo core. Powerful mana began gathering at the end of the device. Dojin could see its flow. The mana pouring from the device was converging on the cracks in the echo core. The force pulled the body of the monster clinging to the core inward. The limb wrapped around the candidate's waist and leg was also curling toward the core, tightening little by little.
Don't fire.
Dojin stepped in front of the team leader.
If you use that equipment now, the monster's body and limbs will all contract toward the core at once. The part wrapped around him will tighten too. It'll crush his waist and leg.
The team leader did not lower the device.
If we lose the core, we lose the exit too. Move. We get the last person out first. This isn't a situation for a candidate to judge. There's a living person right in front of you.
Se-ah stepped up beside Dojin. The other candidates raised their weapons one after another, leaving only 1 behind to guard the injured survivors. The other 3 retrieval team members moved in front of their leader, who kept the core in his sights, and tried to force the candidates back. Just then, the monster violently pulled in its limbs.
Ark.
The last candidate's body scraped across the floor as he was dragged toward the core. Every candidate's weapon swung toward the monster at once. The team leader's cutting equipment remained aimed at the Echo Core. The other 3 retrieval team members blocked the candidate's path. The team leader's fingers settled on the device's trigger.
Last warning, move.